Ksighau people, when they came back, they were only confined to the hills, up the mountain, a very small area, and they were only given 10 square kilometer from the mountain, 10 kilometer around, and not beyond that. So the other area was called Crown Land.
Ksighau has been settled in 4 thematic areas. There was the first one, which is on top of the mountain, where we are now currently. It is the water tower of Ksighau location. Then they came to the second settlement area, where they were found by the war there. Where I'm standing is the third settlement area. And then there's this what we call the lowland settlement area, which is now spread across to the government land. We are now on trust land. And the mountain here is also a part of that, is part of the trust land, because right on top where the first settlement was, there's a government forest of 249 acres. It is active up to date.
That was a punishment, a very big punishment for the Ksighau people. They were just confirmed around later on they called it trust land. So up to even when I'm speaking, we are still in that area. So the rest of the area, from the 10 kilometer from the peak of the mountain, 10 kilometer, that is trust land. Up to today when I'm speaking, the rest of the land was called Crown Land. The land was subdivided on lease basis. They were given on lease basis. So the Ksighau eventually were given a very small area, which is called the Ksighau Ranching, 52,000 acres only. But the remaining of the rangeland was subdivided and given to either individual ranches or group ranches outside Ksighau. I mean, the Ksighau people are not represented. That's the reason why now we have all these ranches surrounding the area. Up to now, nobody has a title deed. Nobody has a title deed. We are just even like we are just squatters. Even right now when I'm speaking, I don't have a title deed. We don't have a title deed. There's nobody who has a title deed around here. Only the settlement scheme at Buguta. And that's a government settlement scheme. But now when we are coming to Ksighau area, nobody has a title deed. Around 13,000 people being given a very small portion called trust land. I cannot imagine because the population has increased. I cannot imagine of people being subdivided with this small land around the Ksighau hill, whereas the rest of the land is called Crown Land or State Land, and it's not given back to Ksighau people up to now, even after independence. Can you imagine people being away in exile for 22 years, 22 good years? So the Ksighau people went under that oppression. They were outside their area of residence for 22 good years. So in terms of development, when you compare ourselves with the rest of the Taita people, they must have gone ahead, because 22 years is not a small period.
When they came down here, they thought the people could just live at the foothill of the mountain. So they just put up their boundaries just close to that, never consulted the local people. So at the end of the day, these people had no land. Because when you say land, trust land is for the community administered by the local authority. Still they had no say until the local authority give them a go-ahead. So they were landless. And these people, we could put them, they were not, because of the weather, they were not intensive farmers. There were no cash crop here. So you can just imagine how these people could not or had no cash crop. So the land issue, being the land, had a negative impact on, every economic activity starts with the land. And without land, you are just as useless as somebody you are given water, but you cannot drink it.
So in terms of development, like education, they use, of course, the rest of the Taita people made a lot of developments in many areas, in farming, education, in many areas, infrastructure. Remember, we just came here in 1936 is when now we started now again like school, okay, building school, building churches, building dispensaries, building what, all this infrastructure, whatever. So when you compare ourselves with the rest of our Taita fellows, we have really lagged behind. So we are now right now struggling to catch up, but it's going to be very difficult unless perhaps we get some assistance, a lot of assistance from other quarters.